I'm so happy to bring you this video, and I want to discuss the topic of your changing cycles or delayed periods. So when your cycle suddenly changes or you experience a delayed period, it brings up worry. It can be really frustrating, especially when you're expecting to be due on, you've made your plans and you've made everything for this particular time in the month, and then, oh wait, I'm still waiting. I'm sure many of us can relate to that, and it can feel really quite annoying. And especially when even those of us that know our cycles and are in tune with our bodies, it still can come as a bit of a shock. Now, for a lot of people, this is what I would suggest to do. So if you notice a change in your cycle, so for instance, your period's been delayed by a couple of days, or even by a week or so, and you're starting to worry. Now, what I would advise to do firstly is look at, is there something that you're holding on to? Is there something that you're struggling to actually release? Are you honouring your divine feminine energy and the natural cycles of life and the earth? And your own natural cycle as well? Are you giving yourself time? So for instance, when you go into your premenstrual stage and you're due on, are you honouring your need to rest or your need to nourish yourself more? Because sometimes when we disconnect from our actual needs, our bodies will try and call us and get our attention in another way. So that's one thing I could suggest for you to look at. Also, what's actually going on in your life at the moment? Are you experiencing emotional changes? Any hormonal changes? Maybe things within your diet or your lifestyle? Or even you could be going through a difficult situation. So, even a change in job, a change in relationship, a grief or a loss, or a new routine. But just put some time aside to reflect on your energy and make some notes and just journal or just tune into. And even when you just give yourself a little bit of time to be quiet, that guidance then may come through to you, and you may suddenly have an aha moment. Oh, maybe this is why. And then obviously tying it into the moon, which is all the information I do share on my videos with you, and the moon cycles, and they have different meanings as well. So let's say, for instance, if you change to a waxing moon cycle. A waxing moon cycle is about growth, something growing within energy. If you look at the moon, so it's not quite a full moon, but it's growing and building up towards a full moon energy. I would also advise at this point to check out my videos on the different moon cycles, so your full moon, your new moon, waning and waxing, and listen to those and see which resonates with you depending on where your cycle is at. So with this waxing moon, I say yes, it's a time where something is growing in energy. It's a time of spiritual growth, a time to learning new things, even new things about yourself and the world. Also a time to try new things. And I wonder as well if being in a universal 7 year in numerology, 7 is that spiritual energy connecting to higher power, to source, to the divine, to God, basically having faith in a higher power and trust in spirit, and that we can't control everything. It's a very spiritual and psychic number, that number of the 7 energy. And again, it promotes an inner energy. I know when I was in a personal 7 year, and if you want more details on the numerology and understanding that more, look at some of my videos, or you can drop in the comments or message me. But yeah, when I was in a personal 7 year, I really connected with spirit. I started using my gifts. I was wanting to learn about everything from diet, nutrition, psychic studies, mediumship. I was learning so much, and it was an inward energy. I felt all my energy called within as opposed to but outwardly into the world. So all my energy was on learning and growth, and it was a very inward time. So it's at that time to connect to your soul. So if your cycle has changed or is on a waxing moon, for example, that's what it will be. It will be tuning you into yourself and your spiritual energy. And I feel as well that more women will resonate with this cycle this year of a waxing moon, as we are in a 7 year. And also I've had a 7 client of mine just recently, and this is what prompted me to do this video. as she said to me, gosh, my period's been over a week late, and now, and I said, your cycle's changed suddenly, coincidentally, on the waxing. And she has literally took a turning point and started to develop and grow more on her spiritual path and journey, which is incredible to see. But obviously the frustration in the physical body was, oh gosh, in a lot of pain, why was it so late? So it's about reconnecting inwards to find out the reasons for that. Just like another example, if you resonate with the full moon cycle, which I know has been very popular over the last year or two, and the full moon is more of the outwards energy. As you see in the sky, it's at its biggest, its boldest, its brightest. You can't really miss it. The full moon is there, and that's that outwards energy. So it's the people that are doing for others, you're sharing with others, you're maybe creating something that is, for others to benefit from, or the world, or to help or heal others in some way. And that is the beauty of that cycle. It's more of an outwards energy, as opposed to your energy being focused more internally and on yourself and your soul. You're using your abilities and your skills as a woman to outwardly create. And even if that is on a level of just helping maybe within your family unit or within your children, or helping to create something for others, that's also an interpretation of that cycle as well. So if you do listen into the videos in more details, you will see the changes. And then if you look at what's been going on in your life, and even subtle things that you may just dismiss, like I used the example with my client, she hadn't maybe thought that these steps she were taking were more of an inward spiritual journey, but they are. So the key message with this video is not to stress, not to panic, but simply relax and meditate and seek your guidance from within, but also to look back on your cycle, to look at what's happened and the changes that have taken place within that month, which will help you understand why sometimes the delay happens, because what's happening on an emotional or a spiritual and a physical level all has to even and balance itself out, and the body has got to get your attention to that change. Because it would be so simple as just listening to this and be like, oh yeah, I've had a change in my life actually, or even something significant as my job, or oh, I made a new diet change, or I've suddenly joined a group to start doing this now, but we don't necessarily always make that connection. But there is always that deeper meaning to your cycle, and what moon cycle is also connected to. I hope you found this helpful. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to help as many people benefit from these as possible. And as well, I have my beautiful deck of Sacred Oracle cards here. I actually love these mostly for their artwork. With these cards, you can see I've just placed some down here as well. I just think the artwork is beautiful, and such divine feminine energy that's connected with those as well. Have an amazing day. Lots of love.